You're more than $1.
I don't even know how you bid on the trail.
All right, everyone, welcome to the 2025 Dodge County Fair. Thank you for coming out this afternoon for the parade, and thank you for joining us as we head into the evening here. We are excited to get started our ceremony to recognize our 2025 Dodge County Fair Parade Grand Marshal, along with our Pioneer and Heritage Family Award winners. We are first going to begin with the Grand Marshal recognition. So this year, the Grand Marshal for the 2025 Dodge County Fair Parade, Greg and Teresa Neighbor. Come on up. Greg and Teresa are recognized as Grand Marshals for their long time, and they couldn't remember how many years of service they dedicated to the fair as volunteers, but many of you probably remember Teresa being in the office at the Dodge County Fair for many years. She served as the main secretary to the board, and Greg was also a long-time volunteer here at the fair. As he kind of took over for things, his parents being volunteers, his mother was a longtime superintendent, and his dad involved in livestock stuff here at the fair, as well as Dodge County Feeders, the Dodge County Farm Bureau, and those different organizations. Teresa got her start at the fair after some ladies from the church, I believe, Audrey and Joy Meyer asked her to help out in the office here at the fair, and that's how she got started. And I'm guessing anyone that's been a long-time volunteer here at the fair, you got roped in and suckered in when someone said, hey, why don't you help me with something this year? And then before you know it, you were stuck as the person in charge of it. So, but we want to thank them both for their many, many years of dedicated service to the Dodge County Fair. Thank you, Teresa, for all your years of service in the office and probably keeping the board in line and organized. So please give a round of applause to well-deserved Grand Marshal, Greg and Teresa Neighbor. All right, we are going to move on to our next awards tonight. The Exarban Pioneer Farm Family Award. I'm going to turn it over to Lori, but real quick, just to give you both We have a special award tonight because we can recognize 100 years of farm ownership and 150 years with the Heritage Award. So every year you can submit paperwork to the Exarban organization, and if you can show your genealogy of continuous ownership of a family farm for 100 years, you can receive a Pioneer Farm Family Award. And when you got so many more years, they added the Heritage Award for 150 years of ownership, and we have an award winner for both of those categories tonight. So Lori's going to take over with those presentations.
Thank you, Sven. Okay, our Pioneer Farm Family Award is going to go to the family members of the late Eugene and Mary Baumert Menard. If they would like to come forward. In 1917, Joseph, Frank, and Elizabeth Betsy Chapman Menard purchased the farm near Webster. Frank and Betsy raised their 4 children, Francis, Eugene, Rita, and Mary, on the 160 acres in the Webster vicinity. In 1953, the ownership changed to their sons and their wives, Eugene and Mary Menard, Francis and Patricia Menard, who together started a Grade A dairy operation. The current owners of the farms are now the children and or grandchildren of Eugene and Mary. The Menard family went through the parade on a hay rack that was built with the wheels and the axles from Grandpa Joe's 1939 Plymouth. And I believe Ann told me that when Grandpa Joe bought that car, he took his 4 children to the World's Fair that was in New York. So in 1939, that would have been quite the experience for Eugene, Rita, Mary, and Francis to get to go to the World Fair in New York City in a car. So very cool that somehow it was salvaged and we got to see a piece of that today. So now, Houston, you have their plaque. Okay. Jim has the plaque. Congratulations to the Menard family for your Pioneer Farm Family Award. Okay, now on to our Heritage Farm Award. As Houston said, this is for 150 years of ownership by the same family of a farm, which in today's society is just getting more rare that a farm stays in the family for not only 100 years, but 150 years. In 1868, Mats Olson immigrated to the United States from Sweden. In 1870, he filed for an 80-acre homestead in Logan Township, which is south of Yuling. In 1892, Mats and his wife Carrie donated 2 acres of their farm for the Swaberg Baptist Cemetery. And this is the cemetery. It is on the east side of the road, kind of about, I don't know, 3 miles south of Yuling, is it? 2 miles south of Yuling. So if you've ever seen that cemetery and you wonder, well, why is it there? Now you know the rest of the story. Mats owned over 700 acres of land, and at his passing, each son got 160 acres, but the daughters only got 8. In 1914, 80 acres passed to Christina Olson Erickson and her husband Ambrose. In 1918, Christina became a widow with 3 young daughters, but stayed on the farm for a few years. Ownership would then pass to her daughter, Marjorie Erickson, and her husband, Edward Rolfe. Their son, Jim, was raised on that farm and represents the 4th generation of the Mats and Carrie Olson family to own the land. Jim, if you would like to come forward. Congratulations, Jim, and congratulations to the Menard family. Thank you. And to Reagan Princess.
All right, that concludes our honors and awards that will be given out tonight at the Dodge County Fair. If you are interested in sticking around in just a few minutes, we have some animals from the Kids Zone that will be auctioned off, and some plants. So some of the plants that you've seen around the fair, those will also be auctioned off, and a lot of that money goes back into our Kids Zone fund to keep the Kids Zone updated with new and educational material for the kids every year. So I believe there's some cats coming over, some baby chicks, and like I said, some plants. So if you are interested in that, or I should say, if any of the kids are interested in that, stick around and they will be bringing those over shortly.